It's almost like you don't want to. There's a fuel pump. I hope that's a weak battery and not too much compression. Let me go get my jumper. So tile spacers is perfect fit. So I just centered everything. I'm not even going to use a clamp. I mean, these magnets are pretty powerful magnets. So I just put, this time I only use one tube, but just put a strip on the back side right in the center. I think that's going to do the trick. Alright, so that Gorilla Glue did a pretty good job. So let's put this flywheel on and hook none of the magnets hit, because that'll suck. Make sure your keyway's on there. It's in the hole. I don't hear it hitting nothing. That's a bonus. Anywho, where is it? This bolt gets cranked down to 50 pounds. 50 foot-pounds, not inch-pounds. Right about there. And so I got just loosely, well, I got two bolts here, and what are we looking at here? Two bolts in the center, you know, one from each corner. They're just, those are tightened down, but I got everything loose, even the side tin, because inevitably, you know, something's got to go in here or over it or under it. So they're kind of just loose fitting on both sides. I guess you're going to have to take pictures of, you know, before you take it apart, and I did. It really was no help because this is so crapped up with oil and caked up. You couldn't see any of this valley. You couldn't see, you know, where things were supposed to be. But I'm assuming the cover goes, you know, the front cover goes over here. Probably uses these two, and back here, I'm not sure what's going on here. There's a gap, so something must, I don't know if I'm missing a spacer or something, but so let me do the next step. You can't forget this guy, because I think where are we at here? It's in the back. I think the throttle plate, you know, goes over and it hides it, so I'm going to do that next, but don't forget to put on your old brown shoes. Put on your governor. Yeah, it goes, let me show you. See how this has, it's bent under this way? This is the way it goes, top side. Don't put it like this, because then it'll be upside down. So like this, just sits on the, I don't know if you can see that, and the governor stem there. This arm goes to the inside. See, kind of just have it in, loosely in pieces, so I think this can only go on one way. A spring there. Two bolts here and two bolts there. Yeah. Now the spring, you got to take pictures, of course, where this thing went. I don't know, the second hole, third hole, third hole. But I'll look it up. Plus the governor ain't set yet, so we're gonna have to do that first. But just the two bolts. Get them started. All right, I'll torque them down. All right, so the starter's on. What can we do next? So it looks like these gaskets have stickers on them. That'll help. Fuel injection on a lawnmower, I don't know, it's overkill. My opinion, I remember when Honda came out with a water-cooled riding lawnmower. Had shaft drive and everything, like with friction clutches, everything. Just more stuff to go wrong. So I kind of left this manifold just intact with all with all the wiring, the computer harness, everything, even the throttle deal. So I got to remember where all these wires go. But let's just see if we can get her bolted up with no issues. Let's hope this crank sensor just gets seated all the way down and not there's some kind of tolerance it needs to be at. See what I'm saying? Just all this extra stuff for fuel injected. Come on. Give me a carburetor. Carburetor costs like $10. I wonder how much fuel injectors are. So I think I can get a wrench in there, so we'll tighten that down in a second. Let me get nothing's pinching again. Anyways, let me get these started. I'm gonna go look around, make sure I ain't pinching nothing. And I'm gonna have to go get my cart, stick this engine on my cart, get a little higher. But this there's a little wire bracket, you know. This wire here I clipped from, it goes to the rectifier. I just clipped it because it was easier just to, you know, I'll repair that later, but I'm assuming it goes up over this little shield here. You don't want this booger getting involved with that flywheel. So I'll zip tie it to some stuff, and looks like it pokes out right through here, and the cover goes on. So that's what I'm going to do there. Before we put the front cover on, you got to put this fan on. It's got, you can see that, 2 little divots, and they got corresponding holes, so you kind of just have to find out where they are, right there. That's it. Now I can put the cover on. And I believe the screen goes on over the cover. Some go on before. I think this one goes on. You put the cover on, then the screen goes on. So it's kind of just loosely sitting there. Let's see if we can get the cover on. This fella has to go. Oh! Getting away here. Yeah, that looks like it just comes through that little saddle. And then this one here. Okay. So that must go underneath. Over this one and underneath this one. I'll show you in a second. That's that. Show you if it's pinched. That's that side. It's basically, this is the shroud. It goes over the one valley tin. You know, the hole ain't lined up yet, but and then this tin, it goes over. So it kind of like a little weave there. Maybe you can see it better on this side. It ain't quite pushed in yet. See, it's going over the valley tin in here, over on the top, and then this tin goes over the shroud. Once we get it cinched up, it'll be fine. And down here, this is where the wires come out. Make sure everything, oh, looks like a hole right there. Goddamn mosquitoes. That's got to be lined up. So, and there's one down there. So I'll squish everything together, bolt this thing on. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. I don't know where this plate is. It didn't come with it, so. And oh, I forgot to mention, I didn't replace this gasket just because I didn't separate it, so I'm not worried about that. Here's a little top view of what we got going on so far. This might be a little better lighting of this whole situation up here. Again, yours might be different. Still got to find the end of this guy. And the wires for the starter and all that business. Some are on the mower. And of course I got all this crap here to figure out. I'm sure a lot of it goes to the starter and a lot of it goes to you know, what's on the mower. Alright, let me bolt this on, get it done. Alright, so once you get this extension on, just the 4 bolts there, 10mm bolts. Like I said, some of these go on the inside, this one happens to go on the outside. There's a little ring here, and I kind of line everything up with. Alright, so torque these down, 200 foot-pounds. Nah, just the little guys. They'll find the holes, work them in there. And I'm gonna rotate the engine, make sure everything's still rotating. and then we can do a muffler on the other side. This oil cooler is going to go on next. These spring clamps were the originals. I'm going to double clamp it with the worm gear type 2. So just to be sure, so it kind of fits on something like this. So everything's double clamped. I mean, again, oil cooler on a lawnmower. Seriously, do we really need an oil cooler on a lawnmower? How many years did it get away without an oil cooler on a lawnmower? Anyways, that's that. Let's pop this muffler on. That should be easy enough. Okay. Next up, muffler. Oh, don't forget your gaskets, your new gaskets. Nice shine these little ends up a little bit, but they're gonna rust almost immediately, anyways. Crap. Exhaust nuts. So, anyways, that's that. What do we got here? The clutch. Jeez. I'm thinking that clutch will fit on. Alright, so muffler's complete. I guess let's put these valve covers on. And the saddle, what do they call it? The bracket that holds your air cleaner on. You can do that. And of course, you need these little spacers. Or that's actually steel to prevent it from cracking that, plastic. And before I tighten everything, this is the puppy I was talking about. Alright. Obviously the indent has to go around the intake. Don't want to squish any wires. Right there's where it was. Still see a shiny mark. There it is. Right there. Yes. One of them kind of pinches the crank, and the other one pinches the keyway. You know how it goes. What's next? Let's put this clutch on. Still got to get an oil filter. That's the other thing. And that's it. Yeah, so I guess you can put this clutch on afterwards, but I'm going to put it on now just because that's what I want to do. Never have too much weight. Alright, let's see how difficult this is going to be. Be careful your clutch don't fall apart. It happens. It does. Just put that together. So, here's the keyway. Bolt, get in the dirt. Maybe just rotate that for the keyway. That's that. It's hotter than hell out here. Alright, that's that. Yep, we're about ready to sink this hard in there. Just got to lower it in, bolt it up, start it up, and mow. Yeah? I'm going to start this thing up in about 5 minutes. Alright, so the engine's mounted, and I got the starter hooked up, or all the wires for the starter and the ground, remember, on the block there. So that's all set. So next I'm going to throw in this computer that belongs on the side rail here. So all this mess that I've got going here, I just got it tucked up there. All them wires for your lawnmower, not your Ferrari. All them wires got to be hooked up back to where they were and have everything labeled. Some of them were dead ends, some of them were not even plugged in. It's the way it was. I'm going to put it exactly back the way it was. Alright, so just put that fuel filter in. A new battery, although it's from Walmart, so you might need a charge. But I just installed that, the fuel pump, the fuel filter, 2 spark plugs, and put some oil up in there. You're going to have to you know, fill it, or it's filled right now, but when I start this, it's obviously going to go through the filter and that oil cooler, so I'll probably have to top it up. But so I don't care who you are, professional, a novice, do-it-yourselfer. This is the part where you go, So I'm about to start this thing up. I'm just trying to remember if I took it outdoors because this thing does blow up. I don't want to have to burn my garage down. so I'm just gonna prime the. Oh, let me get this thing on. So I'm ready to start this thing. Anyways, the seat ain't on it yet, and the air cleaner is not on it yet. Just in case something goes wrong here, I have to take it back out. 2 steps that I don't have to do. So let's see. Hold on a second. All right, so I guess we got to prime this, huh? Fuel injected. So just hit this shredder valve. Oop, that might be from. No, there's a little bit in there. There's no pressure, but let's see. Let's cycle this key. See if the. Oh, that's a good sign. I heard the fuel pump sound a little. Oop, whew, plenty of fuel. I better work that up. Alright, so I'm good to go here. Let's fire this up. Let me work that gas up in case there's a spark, yeah. Alright, so I didn't hook the belt up yet. Again, that's just probably the last step in the air cleaner, just in case I gotta do so. So let's see if this thing works, huh? It's almost like you don't want to. There's a fuel pump. I hope that's a weak battery and not too much compression. Let me go get my jumper. Oh boy, you know, the things that make you go This is full blast. Okay. Hey, it started. It was racing too much though, so I'm probably gonna have to monkey with this. I put everything back the way it was, but that was racing. That ain't cool. Let me do that again. I just want to. Yeah, that's too much RPMs there. I'm gonna have to monkey with this. Let me pause this a second. All right, so that ain't cool, man. So I thought I adjusted this governor. I can't remember now. I'm gonna have to do it again. Hello, governor. The old governor. So just take that spring off and get this little plastic piece off. Little doohickey. Get off of there. Don't break it. Don't break it, John. Don't break it. I don't have another one. I might. Why aren't you getting off there? Don't break it. Come on. Are you serious? Surely. Told you not to call me. There it goes. Get it off your rod, off your, don't lose this plastic piece, unless you got another one. Alright, so your rod is, alright, so, you see how it's, I don't know what I'm looking at. Your throttle goes back and forth. You want this thing on wide open throttle, yeah? That's wide open. See where this, it's wide open now. You see where this rod is? I'm going to loosen this, get more than one hand. Going to loosen this jam nut for the, it's so bright out here, I can't even see if I'm looking at anything on the camera. Loosen your jam nut up on your governor shaft. Governor. Oh, excuse me. Alright, now that that's loose, take whatever you can get in that little hole here for your governor shaft, yeah? You want to go counterclockwise. Counterclockwise. And as that's sitting there, this throttle's on wide open. See where that rod is? I want to move my shaft, I'm trying to do this where you can see it, to that position. Yeah, right there. And I'm going to go ahead and tighten up the governor. Hello, governor. Make sure your shaft don't move. Alright, clip that back in there. I'll hook this little fella up. Can't even see it, let alone grab it. Second hole. Man, it's tiny as a spring. It's in a hole. Alright, so that should do the trick. Everything's tight. Probably gonna have to, I don't know why that battery's dead. Again, it's probably been sitting on a shelf at Walmart, so I gotta get my jumper again. So this should do the trick. Then I'll let it run for a bit, see if there's any oil leaks. If not, put the air cleaner on and hook the belt up, see if she moves. Alright, she's on low throttle, turtle mode. It was on turtle mode before too, and it was racing, so hopefully this does the trick here. There we go. Guess we're gonna name. That's more like it. That's the way it's supposed to be. See if the throttle works here. Let it run and see how much oil pours out of this thing. I'll go around and look for leaks in a second. I'm going to cut this off. I'm going to let this run for a bit. Hopefully it don't blow up. Alright, so before I put the seat on and the air cleaner, I do want to check to see if this stator is working. Just because there was that magnet issue. I think I already pointed that out. So let me show you what I did here. So the rectifier, the voltage regulator is, let me see if I can get it. See it? I got it unplugged from the rectifier there, and I back probed the two outside ones. The one in the center is, you know, where it goes. In this case, I'm not even sure where it goes. Computer maybe, and it gets, you know, divvied up to wherever it goes. But the two outside ones I'm concerned with. That's your stator leads. So, and you put your meter on AC, because just like any alternator, it produces AC current. So I'm not exactly sure what the output should be. Probably 10 volts. I don't know. I'm just guessing, but it is on, it's on low speed, so I don't know. As long as it's producing voltage, it might start off low. I'll jack the throttle up, see if it goes up. And if I had a headlight, I wouldn't even have to do this. If there was lights on this, I would just do it like if you got a regular riding lawnmower to check your stator. You know, just start the thing and go up and down with the RPMs and see if your lights get brighter or dimmer. Then you know it's working. So in this case, I'm just going to use the voltmeter. Got it on AC volts. Let's start her up and see if it produces anything. Then we'll kick the throttle up, and if the voltage goes up, we know we're good. Alright, and then I got to put a battery charge in on it. So, where are we at here? Let's start. Clear. I'm going to suck anything in here. No fan belts. I like that. Alright, so it's on low speed. About 4 volts there. Let's see if so I'm a happy camper. Everything works. No leaks. I've ran this sucker for a while now, 20 minutes or so, and there's no leaks. Everything sounds good. Everything is good. I'm going to put this air cleaner on there and a seat, and I don't really need to mow, but I don't know. I'm kind of excited. Well, I do have to, everything's done. Basically ship this thing, get it out of here, but I don't even know if it mows, don't even care. I came here for the engine. So, like I said, I don't care who you are. When you start something up for the first time, everything goes good. Bonus round. Alright, So I don't, maybe I'll show, you know, with a seat on it and me riding off into the sunset, but other than that, I think this could be the end of the video here. So definitely thanks for watching. And as far as do-it-yourself stuff goes, you see how relatively easy this was. Just 4 bolts holding this engine on, you know. And if you don't have a chain hoist to get this engine on, it's not like it's you know, 700 pounds. It's a relatively, I would say, less than 200 pounds. You can bear hug the sucker and get it out of there. And just a matter of replacing parts. Now again, I'm not a machine shop or nothing, so I do have to source that out. But as far as taking it apart, putting it back together, it's a pretty easy job. So anyways, thanks for watching.